making Thc-A Isolate. Using my shatter stuff I really didn't like the texture of and or the taste. So what I do is slow temperature and slow pressure. One of these days I'll buy a Mega Smasher Pro. One's got the gauges and stuff on it, because this is trial and error. A lot of error. Because how much pressure do you put on this? Just slow and slow. Anyway, that's what I'm making. Low temperature, low pressure. Cannot be in a hurry. Time-wise, right now it don't matter. I'm at 90 degrees, so I'm doing it real slow. This is what I got so far. And yes, I saved that. I use that for rubs. I use that for pills. Just keep doing that. Then I'll bump up temperature 20 degrees, 10 degrees, 20 degrees. Lower to slower. And just keep on. This is parchment paper that I'm using. Don't use the wax paper. Use parchment paper. So slowly and slowly remove all of the terps. This is removing all the terpenes, all the flavor. That's what you wind up with. That's what you want to see, just a little at a time. And this is what I'm making. See this or not? Oh. It'll come out just like this. Thc-A Isolate. I can make that pure white. The more I smash this, the whiter it gets. And also, if I wanted to, I could take the isolate and turn it into a shatter. All I gotta do is melt that white stuff I showed you. Melt it down into a, where'd it go? Melt it down into a shatter like. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. And that's that white powder stuff. I can put it back on my plate. Put it back on this plate here. Melt it down. And it'll be a it clear. Well, it depends on how white I get my isolate. So I'll leave a little turp sauce in it. That way I got some flavor. But anyway, I shut this on and off, this video on and off a lot just to do this. So I don't have any time limit on this. I just check it, see if it's wet, see if we got stuff squished out or not. I'll just change it, put a new one on. Alright, it's been there for a while. I'll stop and check it. This is a long process. So if you watch this video, no, it was not done in just minutes or whatever. It's an all-day affair. Next one on. So changing a diaper. One diaper gets full, put another one on. Each time a little bit more pressure. And making sure that's back inside the plate where it gets hot. And there are probably about, I'll have probably about 30 of these. So there's a lot of cutting. This is what I'm using. Parchment paper. Great for baking, which means heat. You don't want the waxed, you want the parchment. Very important. All right. I'll check this to see how much is coming off. If there's just a little bit, I'll put it back in there. And let it sit a little bit longer. So far, that's how many I've done. At 90. Lower temperature, the slower the pressure, the better chance you are of success. Now this one here, I double wrapped it. That's what I'm using. $37. That's what I'm using. I doubled this one up because there's so much in there. I put a double bag on it. And I turn these bags inside out. Because if you don't, you'll have a seam. Okay. If you don't turn this inside out, that seam right there will catch a lot of your Thc-A. So I just take it and reverse it. Just take it and reverse it just like that. That way it don't stick into the seams. Okay. So now, what I'm gonna do is turn up temperature. This is double bagged. Usually I only use one bag. I put a double bag that way in case something escapes, I'll catch it in my second bag. I'm gonna turn up the temperature. Well, I hope you know how to run this, huh? Alright. Set at 130. Push it down. That's all I got left. So that's why increase in temperature. Alright, I started as 12:30. It is now 1:30. Each time there's going to be less and less turp sauce. Just keep changing the diaper. Keep changing This is what it's looking like so far. Like I said, I double bagged this. Don't know why, but thinking if I lose my Thc-A out of the first bag, it'll get trapped in the second bag. May or may not be correct. I don't know. We'll see. Get it in there. Low and slow. Low temp, low pressure. And as you increase your temperature, you put more pressure, obviously. Push it too far, push it too much, you'll lose all your Thc-A, i.e. your THC. And that is number 3 at 120. Like I said, just let it go real slow. The slower you go, more chance you have for success. Don't rush it. So I'm going to push this back a little bit further. So I get centered in my small little heating plate. I kind of wish I got the bigger one, but that's a lot of money. So this one here, $500 or $600, something like that. I don't use it that much, but it is nice to have. Now, how I know when to turn up the temperature, when it start getting less and less and less, just turn the temperature up 20, 30 degrees. Go with it. As long as you're slow, low temperature, should have no problems. Alright. Sitting there for a little bit. Like I said, I'm not timing mine, so. I have to make some more paper. Cut some more out. Double bagging, I don't know if it's a good idea or not, so we'll find out. If you don't see anything coming off of it, just increase your pressure. Some about the temperature. And I'll take it up 180, 195, whatever. As long as I don't go over 200. I think decarbonate weed is what, 250? So, but just keep pressing her out. And if you see on some where it's spewing out, you'll see. I don't know if I can find one. I'll see if I can find one here. Okay, if you see this, if you see one that's spewing out like this, see in the middle right there, where it's spewing out right there, that's too much pressure. See how it's squished out, squirted out? That's too much pressure. So keep that in mind when you're squishing it out. Just low and slow. Like I said, I don't have a hydraulic gauge on mine, so it's by feeling, but just low and slow. All right, we're sitting at 150. Just making Thc-A Isolate. This is what I used. Some stuff I didn't like the texture of, I didn't like the taste of, or whatever. I just used these. These all full. My next one I'm fixing to do is a single bag, because there wasn't much in it. Single bag, doubled over on parchment paper, and put it into the nug smasher. Low temperatures, slow pressure. If you don't do that, you will not get Thc-A Isolate. And when you're doing it, save. When you're first doing it, save all these. Because if you don't have any isolate in your bag, then your isolate is in here. So you scrape this back up, put it back in the bag, put this in the freezer, fold it over, put it in the bag, try again. But do not throw it away. Like I said, I double bagged this one here. I'm just seeing if I lose any out of my first bag, the second bag will catch it. So, probably a pain in the ass, but we'll see. Plus this bag was kind of full. I wasn't able to double it over. If I had my choices, I'd use a 25 micron bag instead of a 37. Smaller micron. The slower the process, the less waste you're going to have. And when you get up to higher temperatures, just add a little bit more pressure. Don't push it too much, especially when you don't have a gauge, so you don't know how many tons of pressure you're putting on it. So I don't know if I'm, putting thousands or hundreds of pounds each time. So low and slow. That's why you keep all your papers. We're making Thc-A Isolate. And when you don't have a pressure gauge, I go to check to see how much is coming off. I put it back in here. How much pressure was on there? I have no clue. So you just gotta go back over, do it again. If I had the money, I'd buy me a bigger one. Let's go that. But at the time, I was thinking, smashing out. I didn't think I'd have that much to smash. But anyway, it is 2:13 p.m. Started this at 12:30. All right, 150. Fix and jump it up. Less and less on the paper. This is what I got. It's double bag, so really can't see much. So the next one is single bag. You'll be able to see it right away. It'll be white like it is now. I don't know if that's because of my double bag or just the isolate that's in there. take it to 190. This is where I'm gonna stop at. It's 190. When you press it, you don't want to see anything spewing out. But when you got a manual jack, kind of hard not to. Because you want everything to run through that filter. And if it's spewing out, chances are half of it didn't get trapped. Now also what I do is I shine a light and see if it's oozing out. If it's not oozing out, put a little bit more pressure on it. Beware, that's aluminum and it'll shine back at you. Just low and slow. Not too much pressure. Alright, so 12:30 is 3:06. About 190 degrees. Start out about 120. I check. I look at my turp sauce. If I don't see it kind of bubbling a little bit, put my hand up against this machine here, right here, and put just a little bit more pressure. It's so much, it's real slow. I barely feel it move. I keep watching it. See it bubbling out. When you first put it in there, just remember you got to let it heat up. Once it heats up, put a little bit more pressure. Heats up a little bit more pressure. This is not fast at all. So the papers I've done already, right there. Done all those papers. Like I was saying, if you can see it bubbling, that's what you want to watch. Stops bubbling, put a little bit more pressure. And then what I will do, so I take this out, I'll take it and I'll go around the edge, all the edge. I'll just put the edge in, push down, edge it all out. Because a lot of turp sauce will stay on the outside edge. You see it's starting to turn white in there. I mean, I do have 2 filter bags in there, so some of that might be the filter bag, but I'm quite sure there's Thc-A Isolate in there. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm edging it. See all the resin, all the turp sauce on the edges? Take it. Press it, let it heat up because I got the AC on. As soon as AC hits it, it's gonna freeze back up. It'll get harder. A little at a time. And you'll have some spew out on this part. This side here. A little bit of pressure, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of heat. I've been at this since 12:30. It's 3:17. Because the center part of this will be white, the edges will be brownish color, or resin color, turp sauce color. And then you take that yellow stuff off and put it in another bag, press it again, and get it turned white. Personally, pure white, it don't matter to me. I like a little bit of color in mine, the flavor. But I did double bag this one. That's what I got so far. Let's see right there. This is a double bag, so I don't know how that's gonna work. But it's hoping to be able to trap some stuff I might have missed. And that's why I keep all my turp sauce, make pills with it, because you're not gonna get 100% THC out of it. You're gonna have some waste. Shut our air conditioner off, that way we can hear better. I'm looking for some bubbles. If I don't see any, a little bit more pressure. Slow and easy. And I've gone through probably about 30 pieces of parchment paper. I'm going to have to make some more of those. When you're at this stage, at this temperature, you don't have to cut them off so big. Cut them off slowly, small. And like I said, I don't have that in for 10, 15 minutes, whatever, 20 minutes. I mean, timeline, I don't keep track of. It's been in there for a while. Keep watching it, seeing the bubbling, put more pressure. When it stops, get the bubbling action going. That's turp sauce coming out. That's what you want to see. Low and slow. Alright. See, almost no turp sauce. When we get to this stage, we put a lot of pressure on that. First put it in, let it heat up. It's nice to have a little bit of alcohol on a rag. And you'll probably have about 10 or 15 of these per temperature change. That's what it's about looking like. But if you think this only takes 30 minutes because the video is only 30 minutes or whatever, you're wrong. It's 3:30 right now. Start at 12:30 to get everything in the bag, everything ready. It took about an hour and a half. So I'm at the last temperature change. So what I'm doing is let it sit for a little bit, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. Press on it. Let it set. The slower you go, because you want to lose any THC out of your terp sauce. You want terp sauce out, not THC. THC is bigger, molecular wise, size wise, than terp sauce. That's why a smaller micron bag is better. You're going to catch more. I'm using 37 micron, 25 with preference. Smaller micron, more it's going to catch. Go ahead and recharge my phone once. They keep checking. If I see some movement, I don't know, let it sit until it stops. Stops, I put more pressure on this. Just keep repeating this process. And hopefully this will work. So I've done this before, taking this much time, and nothing. Okay. Now you can tell I was a little aggressive on the pressure because it's squished out. You do not want to see that. So far. Put one more bag in there. This should be the final press. Like I said, let it sit there for a little bit. Let it heat back up. That's all I got. A little at a time. And like I was saying, you don't want to see that. You don't want to see this, you don't want to see that. You want to see it on the edges. You don't want to see it here or here. You just want to see it all the way around. If you see it like this, then you're pushing too much pressure and didn't heat up enough. Cause it to squish out. There you'll lose your THC. Okay. Let's see what we got. So I double bag this one. This is the top part. Come here. Undone. That ain't gonna work. Alright. Okay, found something to cut. Like I said, I double bagged this. I don't know why. I thought I could maybe catch some. Okay, that's gonna be tricky. First bag. Wasted a perfectly good bag. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and make some more of these, press it out some more by itself. Okay, got it back in there. Let it heat up. Apply some pressure. Heat up. Apply some pressure. Let it heat up some more. Final stages, 190. I did have 2 bags on it. Wasted one because I thought maybe I could see if we were going to catch something, but didn't. So note to self, save your bag. Just use 1 bag. But like I said, this bag was plumb full. I like to double them over, and I didn't have enough to double it over, so I just double bagged it. So this is how it should be, 1 single bag. So right now I'm doing the final press. How white you get it depends on how much time you want to spend. So I didn't get it straight in there. That squished on me. Up it up a little bit. Perfectly straight, centered. Okay. They get hot, because if you don't, it's cold and you go press too much and you're going to get squirts. It's going to squirt out. You don't want that, because that's THC squirting out, most likely. So I'm going to have to make up some more of these pieces. Alright, putting the final one in there, I hope. Squeezing out a little at a time. Let me push it back a little bit further. And holding the top of this, you can't see. Holding the top of the machine, don't put your fingers back there. I found that out a long time ago. Because it's hot. So right now I can press it pretty hard. Most of the terp sauce is out of it. Little increments at a time. So at 12:30 it's 4:15. Just for this. One little square piece of wonderfulness. Thc-A Isolate. That's why I do the shatter. Whatever I have left, if it's dried out or whatever, don't like it, don't like flavor, don't like texture, I'll put it in one of these micron bags. Smash it out and make some isolate out of it. Alright. This is a long process here, guys. It's not something you're going to do just in a few hours or whatever. It takes a while. So what I'm going to do now, let's see it. Now this is how I have my bag doubled over. Okay, that's Thc-A Isolate. So what I'm going to do is stretch the bag out. And press it out. probably doubling over the bag. Not a wise choice. So if I didn't double over the bag, I wouldn't have this, but probably wouldn't have as much in the bag. Now that might create a little problem because I did have a fold over seam on that bag. So we'll see. Stick it back in there a little bit further. Now right now you're putting a lot of pressure on it. Let it heat up. Come back, push down more. Let it heat up. Press down more. That's what I got from the last one. Almost nothing. You're probably going to run about 40 of these, 50 of these probably. Lots of work. Because I folded this bag over, so the main part of the bag is the part's going to have the isolate in it. I doubt if any of this fold over is going to have anything in it. Shouldn't have. Edges, you're going to have color in it. That's where you have to separate the edges from the center, put all the edges in a bag, and repeat the process. Except it don't take long at all because it's already done. I like to watch it. See it bubbling out. I don't know. Depleting it. Let's sit there 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever. Just keep repeating the process. 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I mean, I'm not keeping track. I know it's been sitting there for a while. And the reason why I'm letting it sit there for a long time, because most of the terp sauce is out of it. So it's just going to take longer for the heat to chase the terp sauce to the outside edge to where it sticks to the paper. The heavier stuff, your THC, is going to be in the center. Now what I'm fixing to do is I'm fixing to bump the temperature up just a little bit more. I think as long as you don't go over 225, you should be safe. 250 is the decarb number, so. Take it down to 0 to 200. This is pushing to 10. That should be real safe. That way I can use more heat to chase the terp sauce out to the edge. Terp sauce and THC has obviously a different boiling point. That's how you're able to separate it into Thc-A. So I'm pretty well pressed out right now. As much as I can push down. Hard as I can press down. Almost time. Okay. Looks like I'm gonna do another bag, another deal. I can fill it in there hard. what I got off the last one. Means I had it double bagged, or double bagged and doubled over. Anyway, here is a math problem here. So I started at 12:30. It's 4:30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So did that 32 times from 12:30 to 4:30. So how many minutes per paper did I spend? That way, in case you want to know, you can figure it out yourself, because I'm not that smart. Few nerds out there that want to figure that out. Everybody asks me, how many grams you start out with? I don't know. I didn't weigh it. So I should, but I don't. I just do it. But the more you smash it, the whiter it's going to get. At 210, I've done second two of these at 210. Like I said, some people gotta have pure white. The core would be pure white. Like I said, just pop off the yellow, put it in the bag, repeat the process, and it'll be white. But I'm not that anal, whatever you want to call it. Just can't wait for this to be over with, because it's 4:45. Started at 12:30. Okay. Hopefully this last one. Hopefully. All right. Now it's Thc-A Isolate in there. Now I'm gonna let it cool off. Mess with it hot, it'll break easy. If they get hard, it's easier to get out one piece, or without having to break a bunch of little pieces. So we'll let this cool off for a little bit, and then we'll open it up. Okay. So 12:30 to 5 o'clock. I got 35 of these, 35 presses it took. All I gotta do is put a little cut in it. Rip it apart. All right, clean all this up. Shit, lost them on the fucking floor. That's why I don't like making shatter and stuff. Goes everywhere. Anyway, this is what I've got. Now, I could put this, crush this up, put it back in another puck, and do it again, and get pure white. This is what I ended up with. little debris in there. Clean all that off. I keep those, I put them in my alcohol. Okay, 35 of these from 12:30 to 5 o'clock. This is what I use. These are what, 4-gram pucks, 3-gram pucks. It's all full. That's what I use on this one. This next one, I'm only using these 3 pucks. So, figure it out yourself, because I know everybody's going to be asking me how long it took me per, because this is like 90 degrees, 120, 130, 140, 150, 210. So, or no, 190, 210. Anyway, this is what I wound up with. Thc-A Isolate. Now I like mine like this because it's still got a little flavor to it. A lot of people break it, take all the white out, take this, redo it. But yeah, it's taking too long. Anyway, that's how you make Thc-A Isolate out of shatter, whatever that you don't like the flavor of or texture of or whatever. That's how you do it. Low temperature, slow pressure. Give me a like and please subscribe. Alright, this is what I came up with on the grams. And then I had this. This was this. Wait.